Ayo, week one, baby. PTL, season one, week one, battle one. Like WON one. You get it? That's it's not great. So if you didn't watch my draft analysis, I mean, at least skim through it. It's pretty good. But just going, we got this is my team here, organized by speed. Here is Mid's team. He's the Kentucky Torracats. And then I am the Baltimore Gliscorioles. Torracats, Kentucky Wildcats, college team. If you think he's from Kentucky, you'll never know. All right, so here's here's my expectations here, right? So I was like, okay, I got Zera, I got like Arcanine, I got Skuntank. I'm pretty weak to ground. I was like, Donphan's a pretty good matchup here. Like I would definitely expect Donphan to come. Maybe Assault Vest because Zeraora's only real good way to hit it is like Grass Knot. But I mean, I also do have like Frostlass, Starmie, Brazion, Celesteela. So, it's like kind of 50-50. Like Donphan, the thing, it matches up really well against like half my team, and then it matches up really shitty against the other half. So I still think like I was like, well, he's gonna bring a ground type, right? Like I have Zeraora gonna sweep his team. So it's good. Zeraora is super fast, gonna outspeed Megalop, so I can definitely bring that. And potentially, like Minior electric, and like close combat, I guess. Electric, sort of. Like it's got like he doesn't have anything to resist it really. Besides like maybe Will-O-Wisp on Rotom Heat or like set up Haxorus to outspeed it or something. So Zero's got a really good matchup. Starmie has extremely good coverage. I mean, Lopunny probably kills it, but it's like water on Minior, Psychic on Tentacruel, ice on you, water, whatever, water. Where it still can't really hit me. I don't know. Like water matches up against his team well. Electric matches up against his team well. So I figured Starmie would come. Nidoking for same reason. Ground, ice. I don't even know if I brought ice. Surf. Ground, poison, ground. Special attackers, ground. So he's got a lot of defensive holes in his team. I mean, like Muck and Donphan and Registeel are really annoying to deal with in Sylveon, but it's like ground poison fucks all these guys up pretty well, which is another reason I would think Donphan might come, especially Assault Vest so it can take hits. And throw Nidoking. So there's that. I guess I don't know. I'm just talking about this. I should be talking about this. So here's Starmie coming. Like I said, I have Expert Belt to hit. Surf on a lot of things. Psyshock, Ice Beam, and then I have Rapid Spin just to keep Altaria from taking rocks. Jet Jaguar. Like I said, I think Donphan could come and might not bring rocks, but Registeel could come and bring rocks. Minior could, I think, get Stealth Rock probably. So I'm just I think I looked at this and it's either Tentacruel or Haxorus hits 167 max speed, and so like I'm running a potential speed tie here. But if it's against Tentacruel, which I'm pretty sure is the one it is, like it doesn't really matter. It was gonna hit me with knockoff, I guess, and then I kill him with Psyshock. Is he even gonna stay in? Not really, unless he absolutely has to. So it's pretty good. I got Surf, Psyshock, Ice Beam coverage. Hits most of his team. And that's it. Starmie's fast. I mean, but like I said, like set up Minior, set up anything on his team to get speed. So Haxorus, Minior, Lopunny, you're gonna knock this thing right out. But I think it has enough offensive pressure to be worth coming. So here's the beast of my team, Zeraora. I'm running Grass Knot, like I said, to hit the Donphan. Grassium Z just to make sure I can probably kill it if it's not Assault Vest or if it's chipped. And then I'll just have Bulk Up, Close Combat, and Plasma Fist because there's a few things I think I can set up on pretty well. Potentially like a Registeel, which maybe has Earthquake, but I'll be getting Defense Boost. Alolan Muck, it can't knock me off. Maybe it can poison me, that would suck. Rotom Heat if it doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, potentially. Tentacruel if it doesn't Scald Burn me. There's a few options to get at least one Bulk Up in, potentially if he tries to switch out. And the coverage, Plasma Fist in close combat hits everything on his team for at least neutral. And I could be running like Fight EMZ to avoid defense drops or something, but I prefer to have that safety against a ground type. So yeah, there's a little bit of special attack, or minus special defense. That could be bad, whatever. So here's Celesteela. I was originally gonna run this thing Assault Vest and all offensive and just like try to whittle down his team. So I could hit a little Muck with Earthquake. I could hit Rotom Heat with a Rock move if I had to, or Tentacle with Earthquake, Lopunny with Air Slash. It was just like mixed all these like attacking moves. But then my friend D Train, a classic rival but friend, said like, there's a lot of things you can set up a sub on with Celesteela, and I was like, yeah, and he doesn't have a grass type. Let's run Subseed. So I'm running Subseed instead of Assault Vest, which could be bad, could be good. Rotom's in there. But like I said, it's like Registeel could, I guess like Seismitock was away a sub, Donphan, Alolan Muck. If it says Fire Punch, Sylveon can't do anything. So he does have a good point. There's a lot of substitute, and then Airthrush and Earthquake have the best coverage, I think, in my opinion. And I'm just mixed defense because I want to be able to handle everything on his team, and I'm this weird minus speed, but with some speed investment because I want to make sure I can still outspeed these 50s here. So like I think these guys are around 70, and then Sylveon's around 80 with no investment. So if he puts in a few points of investment here to maybe outspeed Diancie or whatever, I won't get outsped by them, which would be annoying, and I can get the sub first to at least scout. Stuff like that, and then because of level 50, I have to put the 4 somewhere, and I figured special attack's better than physical attack. Doesn't really matter. I would get the defense boost with a beast boost, so that's nice for maybe a Lopunny that'll come in, try to beat me up. Okay, so here's Nidoking. It's Focus Sash. It's kind of like if he sets up or like I'm in a bad spot and hopefully this thing hasn't taken damage or I can lead with it or something, and depending on if Lopunny leads, and kind of like just take a hit. I didn't really need Life Orb. I didn't really need any particular item, so I figured I'd throw the Sash on for just the shot at it. Earth Power and Sludge Wave to hit basically everything on his team, and then Surf for the extra Rotom Heat and Minior damage, especially Minior if it comes. And I have Taunt just to try to prevent shenanigans. I figured I needed Taunt more than like Ice Beam or something to see if I can stop, like maybe Alolan Muck would be cursed even though I'm special attacker. Maybe Sylveon can like Wish and stuff on my Sludge Waves. Maybe I think Registeel is going to go for Rocks, and I can take an Earthquake or a Seismitoss and hit it back. Stuff like that. And then I'm EV to outspeed Necrozma, because Necrozma is a big threat to my team, if you can't tell. Dark move, just Psychic for big damage, or Earth Power. Heat Wave, we'll talk about that later. Psychic, the Psychic still does a good amount, and Altaria is going to be physically defensive, I'll show you in a second. And then Skuntank, ground again. So, whatever. So here comes Altaria, physically defensive, obviously here for the Lopunny. Obviously it's tough because I don't want to switch this thing into a Lopunny potential Ice Punch, and that would be bad, but once I Mega, I can, Fake Out's doing like 20%, Return's doing 40%, so I got a pretty good matchup. Hyper Voice will still kill him, and it's just, Toxic, or something, for stuff like Rotom Heat, or potentially Necrozma, or Donphan, just like the things that like I need, because like what am I gonna bring? Flamethrower for Registeel? Sure, okay, what like that's nice. It does just 30-40% depending on if he's physically special, but like it's not super important, and also I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. And so just Toxic Roost. Hopefully, potentially, I would expect to be burned by the things on the Steam before I get Toxic, or maybe regular poisoned, I don't know. And then finally, here's Skuntank. So if you see here, I was considering Frostlass or Arcanine pretty much for like the Haxorus, and because I was like, oh, Frostlass can get Ice Shard, Arcanine can get Extreme Speed and Intimidate would be good for Lopunny. So there's just like things on his team where I was like, well, these could be useful. Frostlass could help with Necrozma. He get a Shadow Ball off. And I was just like trying to prevent a Haxorus sweep, because like Haxorus +1, a Dragon move kills you, Earthquake kills you, Earthquake kills you, Poison Jab kills you, Earthquake kills you. So if if he has Ground, Poison, Dragon versus coverage, basically all I would have is Celesteela, and that would completely wall that set. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll bring this, because I was thinking that Necrozma was the bigger threat than Haxorus. I was like, I could still handle Haxorus more or less. So I was Sugar Berry for an Earth Power if it comes my way, or an Earthquake. I was going to think Assault Vest, but then I was looking through coverage moves for Skuntank, and I was like, well, actually I should bring Memento. That could be really good. I could get into Zura, get some bulk ups off and stuff like that, or just scare him out, go into Celesteela and get like free subs and leech seeds off and all that. So I figured the Memento is a decent play. Obviously, I learned in the finals that sub will stop Memento every time. So if he's bringing substitute users, it can be bad for me. So I have some bulk to take some hits. I have some attack. So I mean, like, yeah, there's a couple mons this thing can't hit very well, like especially the Alolan Muck, which I definitely think is coming. Has a good matchup on my team. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, I can Memento the Alolan Muck. I can Memento the Rotom Heat. There's a lot of things I can do that'll get me in a really good position to bring something else in and have offensive pressure. So, and then Throat Chop if for Sylveon, I guess. If I want to stop the Hyper Voice. I don't know. I realize Throat Chop, but like, I thought it was just like they can't use sound moves like while they're. I thought it was like Mean Look kind of, where it's like they can't use them, but I guess that's not right. I think it's just one turn, which kind of sucks. It's kind of garbage, but whatever. Yeah, it's the same as Crunch. Defense drops, whatever. So there's my team. I was kind of worried about this battle. I don't know why. I was just like, I didn't really. I think this is one of my worst not worst, one of my worst matchups. I just think there's things where it's like, Lopunny actually has a really good matchup on my team. I mean, Lopunny has a good matchup on every team. I mean, I have Zeraora to outspeed it and revenge it, which is fine. I have Altaria to take a hit, but I still could, like, if things get whittled down, I could be, return kills you, return kills you, return kills you, high jump kick, you're in range, return ice punch, you're in range, this already died because I made a misplay, like, it could get out of hand real quick. The Necrozma's not a great matchup. Registeel is annoying. I mean, that's what I'm bringing Nidoking for. But it's just like, there's a lot of things where it's like I have one mon answers for all his guys that are a full team answer for me. So I think he has a way better offensive momentum against my defense, but I also have offensive momentum against his defense because his defense isn't typed well, in my opinion. I think he's definitely gonna have to make some trades this season. But, so, yeah, there we go. 12-minute team builder is not bad. I didn't really think this through. I was just kind of talking. So, as the battle come up, and we'll see what happened, baby. Alright, here is the battle. If you were looking at my thing, basically, I got his team pretty much exactly right, except Minior came in place of Donphan, which I think is interesting. I don't, like... I mean, I saw Minior and I was like, okay, like, yeah, if he's like Shell Smash, Acrobatics, Earthquake, Stone Edge, that could sweep me, especially if Celesteela is low, and it's because Celesteela has Air Slash Earthquake, so I'd have to Leech Seed and sub, so I actually can't touch this with Celesteela, which is my only answer for it. So it actually is like a good bring, especially with the team I brought. But like if I just had Heavy Slam Celesteela, the thing's dunzo funzo, especially if I'm physically defensive, which you would think I probably would be physically defensive. Whatever, it's like it is a good bring in hindsight. So I'm not gonna complain. But I saw his team. I was like, well, Registeel could lead, Lopunny could lead. Those were my two main ones. I was like, maybe Muck, because Muck's not a bad lead because it has a good matchup. So I figured I would lead Nidoking, and if Lopunny came in, I would basically have to go Celesteela first because he could Ice Punch my Nidoking, and as I try to go into Altaria to try to Mega and stuff. So that'd be awful. So let's just see how it worked out. He does lead Registeel. It's a good lead. I am going to go for Earth Power because I have Surf for his 2 ground guys, and Earth Power does 30% Necrozma. I'm like, okay, this thing's almost certainly Assault Vest. So I'm going to go into Celesteela, but he's going to double into Rotom Heat, which is actually like really good. And I'm going to go straight into Altaria as he Will-O-Wisp and misses. So that's kind of bad for him. He's going to stay in. I'm going to Toxic. He's going to Will-O-Wisp again, and he's going to miss again. So here's the thing. Here's just let the poison go. All right. So yeah, he missed the first Will-O-Wisp. That's fine. Had he hit it, he probably would have Volt Switched, right? I would have Toxic. He could have gone into Registeel. It would have been definitely would have been Slippery Slope. So he Will-O-Wisp the second time because I could be physical. I could be trying to Dragon Dance, So yeah, like Return and Earthquake would basically fuck up his whole team. So it makes sense that he Will-O-Wisp again. So he misses. Say he only missed the first one. Now we're both status. So it's hacks, and like I'm not gonna lie that it's like it doesn't matter. It matters, especially for momentum. So he's gonna finally hit here, stay in, and learn with my Dragon Pulse that he is has wasted his time more or less, because now I'm burned, not toxic, and I don't even think he has toxic, but whatever. So now I'm going to go to Nidoking, sorry, to predict the Volt Switch here. And now he's going to be way lower than he should be. I probably would have done that on a previous turn before the Dragon Pulse, but I'm going to go for Surf because it hits him. There's no point to go for Sludge Wave, and he goes into Minior, which is great. It's not Weakness Policy, which would have been scary. It's probably White Herb, Shell Smash. So now he's going to stay in Acrobatics, which shows he didn't even have Earthquake. So, like, I probably could have been a lot less worried about this thing than I was. But yeah, Acrobatics is nothing, but it must have been the best thing to hit me. So Nidoking, that's the first kill of the season for the team with Surf. Little bit of Hex to help. So now here's on here. I was like, okay, Necrozma. It's the perfect mon for Celesteela. It gets Heat Wave. I literally did not know it got Heat Wave, and I was like, well, should have gone straight for the Leech Seed. No use going. I probably would have Leech Seed had I known he got Heat Wave. There's no point to scout for it if I'm slower and stuff. So I'm gonna Leech Seed. I'm gonna give them health back. I'm gonna save you. I know you're not gonna go for knockoff. You're either gonna Heat Wave or Psychic or something. Psychic was a good play there. He's not Photon Cannon, I guess, for PP purposes. So now I'm gonna go into Starmie, take the Psychic, get some health back. I'm not at full, but it's not bad. Now I'm gonna go into Altaria for the knockoff, and he doesn't go into Registeel. He elects to stay in, Psychic me, and die to the Leech Seed. So that's actually a kill for Celesteela. Passive kill. And Altaria's in here at half health, which isn't still not actually bad because, Altaria's at half health. That is a decent play than full health Altaria. And then I have switches for Registeel. So he's in Poison Jab. It's not really going to matter. I do outspeed, potentially because of those EVs I put in. Get an Earthquake off does a lot before I die to knockoff, which is fine. So Muck gets a kill for him. So now here's some thoughts here. So I go for Throw Chop, actually show off the Figgy Berry, which is bad, and he's going to recycle his Figgy Berry back. So that's not great. Here's my thought. I was like, from my perspective, he could have been Assault Vest. He could have had 2 Assault Vest users. I could have gone into Nidoking, Earth powered at 50-something%. It would have done 40% maybe. Maybe it still could have killed. I don't know. Muck's really bulky though, especially. So I was like, I don't want to risk that. The same thing with Altaria, even more. Hyper Voice isn't going to kill. Same thing with Zera. I was like, well, unboosted Plasma Fist, not going to do anything. And then Starmie, also special attacker. So I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Skuntank, try to will him down, kind of scout what he's doing. And like I said, I have that memento in the back. I keep calling memento because I think of momentum. So I'm going to Fire Blast here, maybe like Fish for a burn. It's just to see how much it does. He knocks off my Shuko, which isn't a big deal. The only thing that could have a ground move left is Registeel, which I don't really care about. So I'm going to Fire Blast as he's going to recycle, thinking maybe it got him into range. So I was like, okay, well, he's right into Figgy range, but before it, so I can memento here, go into Zera. Basically, at worst, risks the poison, which could be real bad. Lopunny could fake me out and whittle me down. But I'm going to bulk up here. And he's going to knock off. I don't know. I mean, it should have been really obvious that this was my Z user. That's like a very minor misplay. So I'm gonna bulk up again, but because he really should have. If he's gonna stay in, he needs to scout for the poison. No poison, which is probably like lucky on my part because there's probably like a 50% chance to poison you or something. With that thing has like I think it has poison touch and poison jab chance, maybe not. So Plasma Fist, Zera gets a kill. I close combat here. Obviously in hindsight, having Fight EMZ instead of Grass EMZ was annoying, but that's okay. So Zera's gonna start a little mini sweep here, and gonna kill him with Plasma Fist. So Zera with 2 kills, and here's what's gonna happen here. He's gonna go into Rotom Heat. I decided kind of stupidly I didn't want to close combat him, and then have like Lopunny kind of fake me out, and then Altaria's at low health, and then if he crits me with Fake Out or something, like I could actually totally lose, or Fake Out just like did a lot. If it just did 40% at regular defense, so. I like to go into Altaria, take this opportunity to roost up on the predicted overheat because I figured he was going to Volt Absorb me. So it worked out. I put him in a place where he couldn't kill me after the second heat wave or whatever, overheat. So now, Altaria's at full. I think this was a safer play. It doesn't, it ruins my chance to get a mini sweep with Zera and go 4-0 with him. But it also saves my differential and a potential just complete turnaround of the battle. I mean, although we do see here that return only did 40%. So like, yeah, had Lopunny critted me. Altaria was at high enough health to live a return, but like, I did. In hindsight, you just never know with that kind of stuff. So now I can actually switch into Starmie, which is also a kind of a weird play. I figured he would try to overheat to get the differential. He wouldn't go for a Thunderbolt and just lose on the thing, because last time overheat did that about how much health Altaria had left, and at worst I could have just gone into Nidoking. So I surf, get Starmie a kill. That's a 4-0 win. First battle of the season, 4-0 against mid. I think, there's a few things happen there. I mean, the Will-O-Wisp misses kind of like set off, like like I said, I always get these like haxes where it's like in the very moment you're just like, okay, he missed a burn on my special defensive roost Altaria, and got a little bit extra chip damage on the Rotom, which didn't come into play. It's not like I got any rolls or whatever that like I did 35 to 50%, and he should have had 30 extra percent health to live, whatever. Like, that didn't happen. But just like the turns of him possibly going to Registeel on the Altaria, and just like the momentum, like I said, basically from turn one having Nidoking in back to those Will-O-Wisp misses, the momentum never left my side. So it was good. I played fine. Like I played a little weirdly conservative. Misplay on the Celesteal and not knowing Necrozma got Heat Wave. I'll keep that in mind when I play mid in the playoffs. Like it's probably not going to come back. Maybe he drops Celesteal. Maybe some huge transactions happen and I have to play the same mod. That's kind of like League is so weird. This is a tangent, but like it's interesting because like there were things last season where it's like I hadn't faced like a Finny or a Necrozma all season, and then I had to play them in the finals, and then because they like the team that had it didn't bring it, or the team that had it dropped it, when I battled, something like that. It's like where like it got picked up by a team I had already played, or it got dropped by a team I had yet to play, and picked up by a team I had already played, or was still gone. So it's just stuff like that where it's like League is real interesting. Where I'm like, oh, I don't have to play a Necrozma or a Mega Lopunny or a Alolan Muck or Registeel for the rest of the season. That's nice, right? And like that's not necessarily 100% true. But it's just nice that Mid has a pretty threatening team. I think like I said, he has some typing issues, especially in his defensive mons, that like definitely gave me momentum swings. Where if I have Nidoking in, he's just like, oh, I'm bringing in my Assault Vest guy. Like, oh, I get 2-hit KO'd like by basically every move it has, and it's just I think Donphan probably still should have come, even though like I prepped pretty well for it. I had Starmie, I had Bloom Doom, I had I guess like Celesteela, but like like I still think it did more than Minior did. Minior didn't do anything because basically like I said, offensive momentum from his defensive guys like Muck and Registeel just could not handle Nidoking. So Nidoking was a huge part of this battle. I'm happy with Nidoking so far. One battle, the bulk that I lose from Nidoqueen is still bad, but we'll see how it keeps going, through the rest of the season. But anyways, whatever, Diatribe, I didn't really have anything to say that mattered. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we can keep up this momentum. We actually are doing worse than week 1 of the STL by 1 differential point. And we had that 6-0 Hoopa sweep, a 5-0 win. So now we're a 4-0 win. Hey, man, it's not really like real, but we'll see how it goes. Like, once again, thanks for watching. See you for week 2. We're playing Gray, Jack, the Yveltal Town. He is also 1-0. He won his battle 2-0. So we're gonna do the classic who can stay undefeated. One of us has to be undefeated into week 3. So we'll see how that goes. It's another scary matchup, but you'll see that in the team builder and the battle. So goodbye for real this time.